Hello, this is the third part of the second half of Act 2. So the part 3 of Act 2.2 in this section. They are going to carry out the plan that they have formulated in the first part of Act 2.2, and it's going to fail in some sense. So it's important in the story that the first plan that they do doesn't succeed, and this is what we see here. So we have the risky plan, and this is where it's carried out, and the emphasis normally in the story, what makes it exciting is the emphasis on the amateur, on the fact that she is not equipped to do this sort of thing. Also, we want vulnerability, we want exposure, we want an amateur being exposed and vulnerable in this risky plan. We know the stakes are high. That's what we want to see as this has happened. So as it's narrated, verses 6 to 10, it's narrated quite plainly. So she went down to the threshing floor and did everything her mother-in-law told her to do. When Boaz had finished eating and drinking and was in good spirits, he went over to lie down at the far end of the grain pile. Ruth approached quietly, uncovered his feet and lay down. In the middle of the night, something startled the man, and he turned and discovered a woman lying at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. "I'm your servant Ruth," she said. "Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a kinsman redeemer." "The Lord bless you, my daughter," he replied. "The kinsman is greater than that. This kindness is greater than that which you showed earlier. You have not run after young men, whether rich or poor." So I guess the breakdown of this section, we want some context of the plan happening. So we have the feast, we have the threshing that happens, we have Boaz being in high spirits, we see him lying down, and then we see the plan in action. We need to, I guess the important part in a story is to not have this kind of in the background or as a narrative, oh, and then she carried out the plan, but to see it in action. We want to be there as she's going and lying down and uncovering his feet, and we want to be there as he is startled and discovers her there. These are very exciting parts in the story, and they need to be on set. We need to, as a reader, as an audience, to be there seeing it happen. So here we also see an apparent success. So he responds favorably to finding her at his feet, and so you think, oh, it's going to be okay, but then there's a twist, and that's important. So it looks like we're going this way, but no. And the twist is that he is not actually the closest kinsman redeemer, so he doesn't have the authority to take her up on the offer yet. So we're going to leave her in that exposed position for a little while longer, and Boaz is actually going to expose himself as well by putting it to the closer kinsman redeemer. And the stakes have just been upped. So this is important. We have a plan. It's a risky plan. It's already risky, but it fails, and that puts them into a new plan. There's no other way but to go into a new plan, which is even riskier, and the stakes are even higher. That's where we come to at the end of part 2. So this is quite a short section. There's not a lot that goes into this section, but the strength of this section will be in the descriptions and in the story and in on showcasing all of that up front. So there's a lot of action that happens in here, and we need to see it as action, not just as a description or as an afterthought or as a memory or anything like that. So that's part 2 of Act 2.2. I really hope to hear from you. How are you finding this? And I hope to see you in part 3 as well.